Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Aftab Iqbal to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Aftab Iqbal's words. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have noticed that the government these days is very displeased with us, particularly with stubborn, shameless people like us who have been blocked, declared traitors and even condemned, yet we remain undeterred. In light of this, I've decided that perhaps we should go a little easy too. At least I can speak for myself. The other 25 or 26 guys are tough nuts and do as they please. I felt that maybe we should try to find a softer corner for the government. Because the government blames us for every failure, every dirty drain. They say, look how much we're doing, but the public doesn't notice. And let's be honest, the public's eyesight isn't that great anyway. And whatever's left is ruined by this Nanzar group. Instead of highlighting development, they portray regression. They drag us down even lower than we already are. So we thought of a solution. We request the Prime Minister. This is your government, me and Sahib's government. Tomorrow, if someone else is in power, we'll address them the same way. But right now, we propose a creative session. Had you asked us, we would have suggested something creative, because creativity is becoming extinct, especially in our country. Therefore, I've decided that from today, I'll make every effort to dedicate at least one day a week, maybe even 2 days sometimes, to this cause. This vlog is dedicated to you. In it, we will try to correct the misconceptions that the Nanzar group spreads about the government, its institutions, their performance. We'll provide some clarifications. And the supportive documentation, because what we say becomes documented evidence. The government gives us that much importance we had no idea. We'll endorse it, certify it, stamp it, see what the government is doing. In fact, we're naming this weekly series in your honor, Mian Ki Malha. Look, we've come up with a fantastic name, like a perfect jewel in a crown. So today, in the first episode, we'll have a general discussion. Development is progressing. It's galloping like a wild horse. And this isn't just us joking. Real progress is happening. For instance, there's been an unparalleled increase in income. And this isn't false. The biggest earner is the government. When income increases, apply more taxes. And that's exactly what has happened. Seeing that, government departments, officers, employees, they've all followed the same path. Incomes have increased, both officially and unofficially. If you look at the stats, income has increased across the board. It's no joke. It's not easy. It's hard-earned money, sweat and blood. Literally. One is sweat money, the other is blood money. This isn't just an idiom. Blood money is actually involved, especially in jobs like the police. So money is money, whether it's blood money or not. To start chanting corruption is absurd now. Honestly, it has become a cliché. In fact, it should now be considered standard, maybe even compulsory, given the kind of government we have. In the past 3 years, every individual brought into the government was like a rare gem, carefully selected and placed. To call the hard-earned wealth of every government servant, whether a clerk, officer, minister or advisor, corruption is sheer injustice. It's the height of being callous and, well, sadistic. And this Nanzar group won't stop. Until recently, I was part of it. But I've repented. I've turned over a new leaf. From today, please do not consider me a part of that group. I'm no longer in Nanzar. And those fools calling me the leader of that group, they are wrong. They're being hostile. They're taking revenge for some old grudge. That's not true. Look, I haven't made any tongue-in-cheek comment. I'm not trying to be satirical. Now look. The government facilitates. That's all it can do. The government is like a mother. It facilitates. In every developed country, large denomination currency has been phased out. That's harsh. That's like a cruel stepmother. In America, for example, there's no note larger than $100. That's just unfair. Here in the country I live in, there's no note larger than £50. Is that any way to live? If someone wants to collect large amounts of money, what's he supposed to say? Write me a check, transfer to my account? Nowadays, everything is tracked. Especially in our country, everything gets caught. So the best method here is load crates and crates of cash on a truck and go underground. And the government has facilitated this. This conspiratorial group, the anti-state elements, keep advising the government to abolish big notes to stop bribery. But hats off to our government. In its motherly compassion, it hasn't compromised an inch. Instead of removing the 5,000 rupee note, it may soon launch a 1,000,000 rupee note. Because if we're going to do it, why not do it in style? Look at India. Try and find a 5,000 rupee note. You won't, they don't exist. Then they make more accusations. They talk nonsense, especially this Nanzar group of 26. I'm not talking about the 27th, just the 26. They say inflation has increased. Oh, fools! If you don't increase prices, the shopkeeper will die. The poor guy employs 36 people. How will he pay them? In flour. Flour is too expensive now. So if the government facilitates you, if you sit in offices with a picture of the Quaid-e-Azam behind you and maybe a few Quranic verses written in bold letters and create that spiritual vibe, if you work comfortably and gather wealth, then at least a portion of that should go straight to the government, because the government needs it the most. It is like a mother, and the mother is sick. She needs extra money. Even after giving her that, take the rest with you. What did Alexander the Great take with him when he left? Nothing. Not even a fig. So spend that money. And when you go to spend it and realize the shopkeeper is overcharging, remember brotherhood is a thing. Empathy is a thing. What should that poor shopkeeper do? He doesn't have an office with a big Quaid-e-Azam portrait. He doesn't own a petrol pump with a big slogan painted. He who cheats is not one of us. He's just a regular shopkeeper. He has a right too. So, when inflation shoots up, that means the economy is growing. It's flourishing. What's the science behind that? The logic, the geometry? We'll cover that maybe in the next episode, Mian Ki Malhar Part 2 or Part 3. So don't think of it as inflation. It's a form of charity. Right now, the whole country is witnessing this. Sure, some miscreants call it corruption, but corruption too is a human act. And look at the benefits of corruption. It fuels the economy. It builds mutual support. A brotherhood of corruption. Quid pro quo. You support me, I'll support you. It's not a joke. Societies don't develop without this. But this cursed group, the 26 careless journalists you've recently blocked, they keep running propaganda for no reason. When have the big-name journalists ever discussed corruption or inflation on their channels, sitting in suits and ties? Never. Because they don't even wear glasses. They're not blind like these others. They know without corruption the economy won't move, and who's supposed to run it? In desperate situations, you need desperate measures, and this is a desperate situation, brothers and sisters. The top desperate measure is the Pakistani way, corruption. People around the world ask us, guide us a little, will you? Take Erdogan, famous leader, man of paradise. Now even he's doing what our rulers have been doing. He just sacked 4 more mayors. He said, this is such an easy way. Pakistanis are already doing it. He removed whomever he pleased, swapped people like chess pieces. Yes, life is like that, so try to understand things. I'm sure as you watch more of Mian Ki Malhar, your participation will be needed. You shouldn't just sit idly. Ask questions. In Mian Ki Malhar, your questions will be answered. I will continue broadcasting Mian Ki Malhar live so that the government cannot say I didn't support them. I am speaking for myself, by the way. As for the rest, the Anjaran group, I have nothing to do with them. Now look, government employees work very hard, tirelessly from morning till night, sometimes late into the night. They even do private practice at home, but there are queues of needy people lined up outside the houses of contractors and silencers, middlemen. Crowds are sitting in their lawns, so the wheel of corruption is moving. The money gets distributed, some goes to the government, some here and there, some as gifts and tokens, and some goes up. This upper income goes very high up. This is present in every department. No one is immune. Understood? Similarly, people also go to the fruit vendor who's selling at 500 rupees per kilo. Will anyone die because of 500? Who's suffering the loss? Suppose he's overcharging by 200 per kilo. So what? Let him earn something. Now the problem is people say, the poor are suffering, they are crying. Let the miserable poor cry, they are poor anyway, so what? Curse them? Why are they poor? Even while living in a country like Pakistan, they remain poor. Then they deserve to die. Speaking of dying, I must mention something. You may have noticed that suicide incidents have significantly decreased. Earlier, there were at least 5 to 6 reports every week from different districts of Pakistan. Now, if some aren't being reported, that's the reporter's own incompetence. But even the reported cases have decreased. These were suicides due to inflation. So if now only 2 or 3 cases appear per month, the trend is downward. Now, these malicious elements I keep mentioning, those in the group I was once, regretfully, a part of, they never present this trend. They only talk one-sidedly, always supporting PTI, always promoting anti-national narratives. They never show the new trend, the improvement. So on that note, Mian Sahib, you deserve congratulations. You, your daughter, your son-in-law, your colleagues, and even your patrons, especially them, deserve a mention. I was thinking we should name a whole segment after them. Now, some might say that many recent suicides involved one person, like a foolish woman who wanted to die. Fine, let her, but she took her kids and jumped into a canal. We consider that one suicide. But the death of 3 or 4 innocent children, that's outright murder. That shouldn't be blamed on the government. I fully support the government in counting that as a single murder. Don't blame the government for excesses it's not responsible for. There are already many things to criticize them for, but this trend is showing improvement. If a couple of incompetent people still commit such acts, what more can the poor government do? How long should they keep telling people not to do this? People need to wait their turn. Living in Pakistan comes with certain rules and practices. If you can't follow them and think of yourself as pure and saintly, then don't live here. Haven't you noticed that when relatives come from the United States or United Kingdom, the first thing they suffer from is stomach issues? Because they're not immune. They're too fragile. But you live here, in this rough and tough society. How can you suddenly become so sensitive that you have to commit suicide? There are 2 main reasons behind these suicides. 1, you're completely useless doing nothing. Or 2, even if you're doing something, it's not enough, which means you're either not doing the right work or not doing it right. A little shamelessness can help a man survive. If you're working in Pakistan, you will have to hear harsh words and bribe people here and there. It's hard to get anything done without greasing palms. So what? Go with the flow. That's how the wind is blowing. You must have heard about that multi-billion rupee scandal in Punjab. It blew up and was then covered up. This cover-up habit is also quite remarkable. Even America is learning from us now. Look at the Jeffrey Epstein case. He did horrible things, had young girls on his payroll, and involved many respected names. Yet even that got covered up. Now, another important point. Some foolish elements associated with that same group keep gazing at the sky day and night, hoping for war. They want war tomorrow, today, immediately. Some drums, some chaos. Who knows what money they plan to make out of war? Like in weddings where people throw money, perhaps that's what they expect from war, but it's not going to happen. That earlier warlike situation was due to a misunderstanding. India is our brotherly neighbouring country. Our love for India is eternal, centuries old. It started the day the first Muslims set foot on this sacred land. Misunderstandings can happen between brothers, between families. Recently there was such a misunderstanding. India thought it's the elder brother and could slap us into silence, and we were silent. They didn't slap us 2 or 4 times. They hit us 27 or 28 times. A couple of our guys responded without consulting anyone. That's how it escalated. Then the matter reached Trump Sahib. And when the real boss steps in like Trump did, he calmed things down, gave a light scolding to the elder brother, held our ears for a bit too, and resolved it. So does that mean there'll be a war? No. That's some people's wishful thinking. They think war will bring glory. Idiots. If there's war, you'll be affected too. Now see the tragedy. Our beloved brotherly country, India. Even if it buys sports equipment, we interpret it as war preparation. They're preparing for the World Cup. Why don't you do the same? And even if minor skirmishes happen on the border or LOC, the big bosses are watching. Trump Sahib has got sweet potatoes ready. He'll just call again and say, act like humans. Then there's this Israel scare. Israel this, Israel that. Yes, Israel is scary, but let us first sign the Abraham Accords. Then they'll be your best friend. The closest of all brother nations. Call them what you want. Didn't you hear Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's interview with Karan Thapar? What a brilliant performance by that little chick. The old goat kept interrupting him, snubbing him, but Bilawal showed patience. Why? Because he was trained by Asif Ali Zardari. Speak only where it's appropriate. He behaved with dignity because the other guy was twice his age. The most valuable thing he said in that interview, you probably missed it, was that there is no problem in the world that can't be resolved if you really want to. Remember when our DG had thundered? He was emotional, filled with patriotism, when he said, "You block our water, we'll block your breath." He didn't mean it literally, it was a figure of speech. Try to understand, fools. I'm talking to that particular group now. Sami Kazmi, Imran Riaz Khan, Sabir Shakir, Moeed Pirzada, Siddique Jan, even the polished Habib Akram has joined them. Matullah Jan, he's been a lost cause from day one. Now see, how long has it been since our water was blocked? Did we block their breath or anything else? No, because we don't hold grudges. Our hearts are open. Anyone is welcome. Have you ever heard us talk like this? In fact, regarding the Pakistan-India war issue, we'll shed more light on it in the next or following Mian Ki Malhar. Hopefully the war won't start by then. We'll try to resolve the matter before that. That wraps up our translation of Aftab Iqbal's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.